glad you're here. Relax a while and get in. Mike and Andree show. The Mike and Andree show. The team that's always on the go. Go, go. They can be funny. They might be serious. The Mike and Andree show. We're glad you're here. The Mike and Andree, they might be serious.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to the Mike and Andree show. My name is Michael Nathan, and today we're going to be talking about bullying. Of course, last week we went, Shakir, you shared your story,
Yes.
and that was moving, and I think this is one of those topics that needs to be discussed a little bit more, just and more in depth, particularly with the kind of administration that we have in office right now. Trump, to me, seems like the kind of guy that is an obstacle to your movement. How do you and others who have been abused or are in active movements against bullying and violence and domestic violence, how do you feel about your president right now?
The words that I feel, I don't want to express them on the radio.
All
The
right.
only thing I can do is just keep praying for him and keep, a positive energy and keep pushing and pushing and fighting. Whether he step up or not, he going to be who he is because that's just, who we are. So I just keep praying for him every day, and I try not to focus on him and just keep fighting for us, fighting for my child, fighting for the children that don't have, fighting for us as a nation, us, our black people, and that's what I do every day at work. I fight for us. I advocate for us. Yes, I'm there, and I'm going to continue to fight for us.
That must run in the family because I'm always fighting for somebody, always trying to help somebody.
Yes.
Even though I might need to help myself, but there are times when I just can't help but try to bring somebody along, and I guess that's just in a person, A lot of people don't really recognize how much local officials, all the way up to the presidency, help shape your environment.
Yes.
And when you don't have a president or local officials on your side in different issues, then somehow, not somehow, they get brushed over. So this is the reason why we must become engaged in the voting process, not just engaged in the voting process, in the grooming process of a candidate as well. I always have felt that I have always felt and always been of the mind that if you want a doctor in your community, you have to grow them. We have to start sending our kids to medical school, interesting them in medical school, and explaining the significance. If we want domestic violence to stop, we have to emphasize the importance of the male figure being in the home, and
Absolutely.
so that he can see firsthand how not to treat a woman, or to
Absolutely.
get into a violent situation. I mean,
Absolutely.
a lot of males that women encounter nowadays, they have not been groomed properly
At
to
all.
know how to exist per se in a cohabitating situation, or monogamous cohabitating situation. So if you haven't seen it, no one's taught you, you ain't read it in the book, you're just completely ignorant, devoid of knowledge. That's all that means. It's not an insult. And you don't have what you need to go on. And I think it's really important because legislators, they can put things in the school, the curriculum.
Absolutely.
Legislators, politicians, they control the police, and how they respond, how they treat it. You know what I'm saying? And our legislators and our, those the programs that are in, Marion Barry put together a lot of programs for youth, and that is part of what has me here today. Those
Yes.
programs.
Yes.
Can you tell me about some of the programs that are out there for youth at risk, or do you have you or
So some of the programs, that I know of, like I said, I work in mental health. Of course, I have people that have nonprofit organizations that work with, the mentor, the Big Brother programs.
Yes.
Even with young ladies in the church, they have. I'm sorry, what's the name of it again? Ma? The debutantes at the church for the
Okay.
girls,
Teach
and
them how to be young
young
ladies.
ladies and stuff like
Excellent.
that. And just having young ladies over my house, teaching them how to, keep their nails clean, have their nails done, have their hair kept up and things like that, just giving back to the community, period. And I'm always open and available to do that, to teach one, because I have two daughters and a son of my own. And I thank God for the male figures that he have put in my life and placed in my life for my son, to teach him when his father couldn't be there to teach him. So I really give honor and glory to God, for doing that for my child, where I didn't have it rough as another parent might have had it.
Right.
Even with Zariah, like, it's a lot to teach a young lady.
No
Just even
question.
growing up with me, it's a lot. It's so many things that I stay on them about. They look at me like, "Ma, this and Ma, that. Ma, you yell too much." Ma, no, I don't. I'm giving it to you raw, because if I don't give it to you raw, that means I'm just sending you out in the world with nothing. My one of my close male friends always tell me that it's two educations: one that you're taught in school and one that you teach yourself. And the best person that's gonna the person that will learn and progress in life is the person that have both of those educations. Of course, we have the education in school, and that they teach you the curriculum, but it's the education, that's at home that we need to teach each other so they can survive, because it's things in school, like you said, that they don't teach you in school that they should be teaching you in school, but they don't give it to you.
Well, and that's so very true. And I don't think that we will have the things that we need, the curriculums and the things that we need in our schools and our educational systems, until we take the horse by the reins and put the people in place that are going to serve us the way we intend for them to initially. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. No longer is the time when you can anoint a leader or a representative and send them off into the wilderness to do battle with the devil.
Yeah,
He will lose. Okay?
absolutely.
We must walk with him into the desert and let the devil know that we are behind him. You see what I'm saying? To give him strength.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that there isn't somebody who will rise and lead us somewhere. I'm just saying that we are more a part of that process than we know.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and that's what we have to do with our leaders right now, because we have to make sure. This is the time of making sure. If you think that there's not somebody in your circle that's not doing what they're supposed to do, if you have to make sure that person is doing what you asked them to do, and that goes as well as for the politicians. And I can't drive that home more.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, this little young lady is your daughter.
Yes,
Zariah, and she is my third cousin. You're my second. She's my third. Hey, we got the whole family tree up here. I'm bringing all the cousins. Everybody come from down the country. You hear me? Because we got stories to tell, and this is how it works. You see what I'm saying? We have everything in our community that we need. Testimonies, people who have learned different things, and we teach each other. We sharpen each other. So, young lady, how old are you?
14.
Why don't you introduce yourself to the people and go ahead and tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Zariah.
Okay.
I'm Zariah, and
Tell your story.
so we can get straight into the story.
If you wish, we open. You know.
Yes.
We're open for it. Yes.
So I had a summer job over the summer. While I was working, I ran into one of the girls that went to my elementary school, and she went to one of my middle schools for 1 year. And when she graduated from elementary school, she changed for a sudden. I don't know why she changed, but she just stopped liking me. I guess because she was getting older. She was going to middle school. She thought she was that, but so I was with my cousin, so we ran into her at the library, and we was handling our business. My cousin was getting some papers so she go get on the train. She was copying, like she was printing out some papers. So she walked up to me. I guess she thought she was confronting me, but she was telling me that I was dirty and she called me a B. So my cousin was like, go outside. Don't even pay attention to her. I was like, prove it. But then I had walked outside. They followed me like 3 blocks down. And she swung at me first, and I swung at her back. But I guess her friends was mad because I was getting the best out of her. But then it was like 20 boys and 20 girls that had jumped me.
Wow. Cousin.
Yeah, they had stumped her head into the ground. She was just giving her, I guess right now, she's a little shy. This is her first time on the radio. So I can maybe like emphasize on what she said. So during the time at elementary school, they were friends. She even went to the young lady house for a birthday party. So as they went to middle school, it shifted. She began to bully her, like she said, for no reason. She tried to fight her several times at school. They even tried to jump her at school. She told them no. She don't want to fight her. She even was going to see a therapist for this. If you all didn't tune in last week, I'm just giving an update on the story. So when she did see her, she didn't even want to go to the library. You know, when they was printing off the paper, she was like, "Here she come." Right. So I guess she told her no again. She didn't want to fight. She swung on her, and they had a nerve to post the video on Instagram. They posted the video on Instagram. That's how I received the video. Yes, because they thought it was funny. It was videos of them stumping my baby head into the curb. On the ground, my nieces and them got hit in the face with bike tire frames. It was really bad, and to watch that again does something to me.
And it's, I would like to see it.
Yes.
I mean, I can imagine, but this was all done by somebody who you thought you had a friendship with, or
Right.
before you reunited, you thought you had a friendship with, and then suddenly turned into something else.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that wow, that really tears me up. Another thing that really tears me up is that we're in the same family. I don't know if you guys know or not, but these are my cousins, and I never knew anything like that happened. You know, I mean, it just was not. Wow. Well, let me say, I'm sorry that happened to you. And I think one of the ways that we can stop some of the bullying and abuse out here is also becoming a village like it was when I was a child. When I was a child, all the parents were able to govern the children. We were able to break the kids up with respect. We were able to send them all on their way. We could even chastise them. That's the way it was. I mean, you know, I some people say, "Yeah, Mike, that's never coming back." You know, this is never coming. But I think that if we were to get back to minding each other's business just a tad bit, we could help each other. Everybody's just going about their business. Everybody's so self-important. Everybody's just, wrapped up into their own thing. And at the end of the day, that detachment from each other is making us suffer, because that attachment when I was a kid is what made me respect that individual. I knew that person. You know what I mean? I couldn't just trample their roses. I would answer for that. There was no getting away. You know what I'm saying? That connection keeps you respectful. That connection keeps you grounded. And I just think that that's one of the ways that we can help our kids, is that we have to be brave enough to stick our nose in a little bit and have a dialogue with. Now, I know a lot of times you get parents that come just like the group of the mob vicious teenage, and want to jump, but we have to stand the grounds, talk peacefully and calmly, and hopefully that individual or that parent, if they're any kind of parent, would want the same thing.
We tried that. We tried that because there was some things going on Instagram. It was threats made, and I called the mother.
Even after her attack.
After the attack, we tried that too. We talked with her. It became something really big. The mother, and I went to go speak with the mom, because The daughter actually posted on Instagram, gave my son her address, and told us to pull up to her house.
And all of this,
Yes.
and you didn't even know why it was happening.
Didn't know. I couldn't understand why she didn't like Zaraya so much. I couldn't even understand how did it shift like that. What was the purpose of you bullying her? And I want to ask Zaraya while we here. How do you feel now?
I mean, I don't think about it. I feel okay. I mean, people ask me at my school, how do I keep a smile on my face while telling the story? Because to me, it's not funny, but I gotta keep some type of, I don't know how you say
Smile
it.
on your face.
Yeah, some type of smile on my face.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I don't want to make people feel bad about what happened to me.
Well, I don't think that it's making them feel bad. I think it's a subject, very bad thing that happened to you, and people can benefit from your testimony. Prayer helps. Now I know that we're probably different. I'm a Seventh Day Adventist. What are you, cousin?
I'm a Pentecostal.
A Pentecostal, okay.
Yes.
And your daughter's the same.
Yes.
Okay, so you all know about prayer. I don't know too much about Pentecostal. Y'all don't know too much about Seventh Day Adventists, but I know
Yes.
prayer is definitely part of it. And you know, I never understood how to pray for my enemies until I became an adult and have really experienced some things. I mean, and you know, when I was growing up in school, of course, DuPont they taught us that. You know, give your enemies, turn the cheek. You know, we read the Bible every day. Bible sword drills, Bible study. You know, but one thing I know is that prayer for your enemies helps as well, you know, because sometimes there are things going on with other people. We don't know, you know, what is affecting the people, you know, that are attacking us. Are they hurting worse than us? So we got to look at the picture as a whole, because hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely.
And then maybe that's how, you know, we could think of it. Not to say that you need to, you know, make it any excuse for them or me either. You know, I'm not going to make an excuse for them. But hurt people. And our community is hurt. And, you know, that is why this forum is about exposing different topics, exposing people who have things going on in their lives that are positive, you know, helping to break that disparity. So tell me a little more now. Okay? The fight is over, right? Are you having any trouble with your schoolwork? How has this affected you emotionally in your relationships going forward? Are you more cautious with the people that you're speaking to now, or what?
I'm mostly laid back. Like, I don't communicate with a lot of people now.
Mm-hmm.
I stay to myself in school. I distance myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
They was out of school for almost a month because I was transferring their schools. All three of my children were out of school because both of them went to Cardozo.
Right.
My son was on the high school part on high school side this year. She was still in middle school, and my youngest daughter went to Gerson. I transferred all their schools, and I had Mr. Brooks from the school board to help me out with it. It was a process, but they got
But they
things done.
supported you.
They supported me, and they did get
That's
things
good.
done because they reached out, especially after he saw the video. He was like, no, he was ready to even find out what school that the young person went to because he didn't even want her in DC public schools any longer because it carried on after the summertime into the school with other kids that didn't have anything to do with it. They began to want to follow her when she got her sister from school to try to jump her also at the school.
Of course, they want to keep something going. Once
They
got
wanted
it going.
definitely to keep something going. It was just really bad, so I definitely transferred their schools. I'm in the process of sending my son to Maryland schools to go with his other cousin.
Okay.
Uncle Tony's son, Joel.
Yes. All
Lord
right.
Reggie is going
Beautiful.
with him.
Yes.
Yes.
All
So
right.
he's about to transfer into Maryland schools, and I just keep a close eye on them. They at their schools that's closer to my home now. So I think she's doing better in that school. I'm glad that this situation might have been a negative situation,
Right.
but it turned out to be something positive.
Yes, because
And I
you're gonna
thank
grow
God
from
for
it.
we growing from it, and we helping everyone else because my aunt told me, she said, Shakir, and I said this last week, she said, this not about your daughter any longer or you. You have to fight for the children that don't have a parent like you to fight for them. You have to continue to fight, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to fight. I had mentioned to Andrea last week that we're doing a 300 count shoe drive.
Tomorrow.
I want to give back to the
Right.
children that don't have, the children that get bullied because they don't have the shoes.
Right.
I'm also going to continue to speak on panels. I'm going to bring Zariah with me everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Zariah, she can draw very well, and she draw these amazing flowers. So I'm looking into trying to get her own clothing line. And she can do edges really good, so I want to give her
my
edge
daughter
control.
loves to sit in the mirror. We spend like 20 minutes in the mirror trying to get your edges together,
Yeah.
right? Mikhail, she got the earphones in.
Yes, yes.
But let me share something with you, cousin, if I might, right?
Yes.
The enemy wants you to fold. The enemy wants you to succumb to the pressures that you're receiving. Through prayer, right? And your family structure, through prayer and belief, you can overcome that. And I suggest that you never pull back. Be the same outgoing person that you are. Just hold people to a higher standard in your life. When you meet them and they want to sit down with you and they want to, commune with you, you have to make sure that they are about what they say they are. And I'm telling you, I'm a person who can speak from experience. Make sure people are doing what they say they're doing, what they're about in your life, and and just in general life. You want to make sure they're authentic, and they're not putting up a facade. Some people are just trying to catch you in a situation. Catch a nice person, a giving person, and ride that person. It's hard to think of a person being predatory like that, but there are people who latch on to you, and they want to immediately put you in a box. They want to assign some kind of idea of who you are, what they can do, and that's what they want to run with. But I suggest you don't fold to any of that, because your story, your whole situation is bright. And depending on the way you look at it, perspective is very important right here. Depending on the way you look at it, this could be something that not only fuels your fire, but this could be your passion. This could be something that you can really grow on for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And you go around and do motivational speaking, because this is a big problem. Kids growing up without parents, without structure, and they don't know that being a follower and doing something that whole group of people, there was probably one leader.
One.
Maybe
Absolutely.
two.
Absolutely.
Maybe two personalities that was running that whole thing. The
Absolutely.
rest of them were afraid
Absolutely.
not to be a part. And see, you were strong enough to stand apart from that group, those of people. You see what I'm saying? And when the opposition came, you're not afraid to step off and and say that you don't want to be a part. And that more people need to be like that. I applaud that. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes. But I have to give kudos to my mom again. I did last week.
Okay.
That's my mom. Like, she did an amazing job with us. So this is where I get it from, to be strong like that, being a single mom most of my life. She did an amazing
You done brought the
job.
matriarch of the family. You done brought the giver
Yes.
of all the knowledge.
Yes.
And we are up here, going on stuff. And we have the source. Okay? We have the source of all these beautiful things. We're going to bring her up a little later. We're going to talk to Mama. Why not talk to Mama? Mama is up. We always need to talk to Mama. Talk to Mama. Yes. Yeah, so you have all the kids in Maryland school now.
Well, actually, just Reginald right now. Zariah and Sanokia is still in. Zariah goes to a school in Capitol Hill, so she's in Capitol Hill.
Oh,
She's
okay.
So she's doing really well, and Sanokia is close by the house also. So I like the school that she's in. I think it's great for her. I met the principal. We keeping in contact. We have the social worker at the school. They really doing a good job, because they know her story. They know the background.
Right.
So I just want to, I'm working on rebuilding her confidence level again, to
Right.
make her, have her self-esteem high and let her know, like you said, you will not fold. This too shall pass. My
This too
pastor
shall
always
pass.
said, when you go through something, it's just not for you, it's to teach someone else. It's for you to help someone else when you go through something. It's not just for you, it's for you to help someone else. So I'm teaching her how to give back. And like you said, becoming a motivational speaker. Take this negative thing, turn it into something positive, make it be great.
Flip it.
Flip it, yes,
Flip it.
absolutely. Flip it.
Yeah.
Flip it. Take it, run with it. Be like, if I did this, you can too.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. And I've thought about writing a book myself. Not necessarily, to feed my ego, but so that somebody can benefit from my story. 'Cause
Yes.
a lot of people don't understand, that you're living a dual existence. Please understand that I'm just a normal, every day-to-day guy. I don't know, a lot of people, don't really come in contact with me per se, except if we at a show. I work every day, a job. Yeah. Then I go and do part-time jobs. I mean, entertainment is a rough industry. You don't always make all the what you're supposed to make. I mean, you set out, you make all the the arrangements, you do everything you can to come off in a favorable way. But at the end of the day, things happen, and you don't always get paid. You have to work your butt off in all areas. You just not succeed. I don't care how well you can be good if you're at the top of where you're at. Sometimes you can just you can ride that wave. But for the most of the entertainers, singers, comedians, it's not a glamorous life. They have glamorous moments.
Absolutely.
Right.
Just like we do have in our life, we have glamorous moments,
Yeah.
not a glamorous life.
And it's not that they're pretending that they have this life. It's just that, and you guys need to understand this. Excuse me. The people that you see on Facebook, and you might think that, hey, they're pretending like their life is all hunky-dory. Maybe not. Sometimes people are celebrating the good moments, the good times, and they're putting it out there for other people to see and sharing their joy. It doesn't mean that they're trying to pretend that they've got limos and everything and that everything is hunky-dory all the time. Sometimes, and that's all together. It's all together. The good and the bad are not separate. They all come together. You can have a good moment. You can be at an awards show, and that night, things could be different at home or in any other faction,
Absolutely.
place in your life. So, that's, from my perspective. I like to, give a little testimonial here and there. I just don't want people to think that, when you do this is, this is all there is, and that it's really like that. I get dressed up like this every day. Now I put on a work shirt and some more stuff. Okay. Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's talk about plans for the future. Any projects coming up? Anything you're gonna work on? Anything involved in school? What are some of your major hobbies? Let's talk about those. Good stuff.
Let's talk.
Well, my major hobbies is, so in school, I'm gonna say my favorite subject is math.
Oh, man. Stay with that. Stay with that. Let me tell you something about the math. The math is in everything you do. That's in the language. That's in everything. Stay with the math. The more you understand the math, things are unlocked. What else you got?
Mainly, I just like to enjoy myself. I like to have fun. Sometimes I be in the mood when I don't want to do nothing. I just want to lay down.
You don't need rest.
When I'm bored, I either be on my phone or I either find something to do in the house.
Right.
I'm really.
Let's talk about your drawing. Let's talk about your edges.
That's
Let's
what
get there.
So your mom says, let me tell you these. Your mom tells me you the edge queen of the hood. Now you lay it down. I'm gonna let you lay my daughters down in a minute. I'm gonna you give my daughter some tips. She's 6, going on 22.
So when we about to leave out the house, my mother be yelling because I be in the bathroom doing my edges.
Okay, you
For
gotta
like,
get them just right.
for like at least 30 minutes.
Well, what is the edge? Okay, 30 minutes to do edges, cousin. Come on, cousin. All right, show me where the edge begins. Cause do I have edges? Do I have edges? I just need to know if I have edges. And maybe we could do a demonstration. Do I have edges, cousin? Do I have edges?
Yeah.
Could you put some gel on here and maybe slick this down at all? Could you do anything with this at all?
No.
Men don't have edges. Okay. Well, some of them do. Prince had edges.
He absolutely did.
I think Prince and Michael Jackson had edges.
Yeah.
So maybe if I could still grow a full head of hair, I might have some edges too. So what exactly you doing with the edges while you in the bathroom, cuz? I don't know.
The word is called slaying. You gotta just
Slaying.
lay them down and slay.
Okay, slaying and laying down. I heard my daughter use the word this morning you youngsters use. Fleek. Fleek.
On fleek.
On fleek. What does fleek mean?
I mean, when your head just looking good, looking right.
Perfection is achieved. That is fleek. Perfection is achieved. Now you guys on the Facebook Live, you can call in 202-427-7263. Join in the conversation. Talk to me. Joe Champ, what's going on? Clifton Anthony, Nancy Dropstep, Boss Girl Regina Nicholson. Good morning. Shadana, smile for the camera. Hey, sweetie, how you been? All right. So your edges, my cousin here does edges. I'm gonna put you on right now. My cousin is the edge queen, okay? Anybody that needs edges done, and what else do you do, cuz? Nails, all that.
I'm learning how to do hair.
Okay, she's learning how to do hair. We need
It's
some.
a gift. It's
a
passed
gift.
down from my mom to me to her.
Oh, I'm gonna get the mom,
So
because
it's
mom's
a
got
gift.
everything, and
Yeah.
we're gonna find out where the source of all this goodness comes from right
Yes.
here. So she's learning on her head. So now you see what she did to me. So y'all hold up for a second on that. But you guys know I'm a
When I do
comedian.
hair, I
like that.
call and I be like, Rara, come and slay her edges for me real quick. Do her edges.
That's
Right,
what's
every time she do hair, she either call my name, slaying her edges, or
Well, I don't have
somebody.
edges no more. I just cut
Of
them off.
course, no. You just asked me the other day to slay your edges when you cut your hair, but she either asked me to do her edges or my sister. Both of my sisters stays in my house, and the people that she be doing hair downstairs, I be upstairs with my mother.
My
all the time.
7-year-old cry. She be like, Mommy, tell Rara to do my edges, please.
That's right. At 6 and 7, edges are extremely important. My daughter. She was in the mirror for about 30 minutes. So that is that's a standard time right there. You guys need about 30 minutes or so just
It's
to
a
deal with
thing
that.
for girls.
Then they
It's a
getting
thing.
older, so 30 minutes to do edges. Then it's gonna take another 30 minutes to do makeup when she gets older. It's like this is just too much.
I see how this develops. I
Yes.
see how the makeup bags develop. They start out with a
If my
pencil.
edge is
and
not done, then the scarf come in. And
then
my
the
mother
scarf.
be
We
getting
got to
on
pull the
me.
scarf out.
I'll be like, take that scarf off your head.
She can't have them edges out unsecured. Because she can't have them edges secured. She's not having that. Oh my God. This session is particularly good for me because I feel like, it's therapeutic. Whenever somebody expresses themselves, tells a story, gets it off their chest, it becomes just to me that much better or easier to deal with or cope with life. And we have to support that. We have to continue to encourage people to speak up, speak out, and tell their story. Share with each other, because you see how we sat here and talked about the situation the movement, what happened to her, and slowly but surely, you know, we became, you know, it was like to me a weight lifted older woman. We can laugh, we can talk about it, you know, discuss it. It becomes just that much easier to deal with because when a person knows that, you know, you'll listen and that you're supporting them, you know, it makes them feel like talking. You have to make people comfortable, you know. And that should be part of this whole picture too, as far as I'm concerned. You know, along with restoring the family unit, and we have to choose to do that. We have to choose to do that. There are more of us working off of welfare than there has been in the past, and I think that welfare or those subsidies programs that help women were part of the deterrent because in order to get some of those things, you can't have a man there, and that kind of like was part of it. So now that more people are less dependent on that particular system, you don't have to be governed by it. You know, I think family homes should be back together again. You know, the man.
It shifted. I'm gonna be honest with you. It shifted.
Tell me about it.
With the welfare system, and I'm even gonna talk about Virginia Williams a little bit. They allow you, even if you're not married now, they allow you to put that child's father on where they can get Medicaid and food stamps also. But someone has to be working or you have to go to that work program. Even in Virginia Williams, if they come up there and they related to their child and you all living on the street, both of them can come up there together. Oh, wow. So it shifted in a way. I feel like that it kind of handicap our community. So if I'm doing housing at work and I'm a housing liaison in the mental health field, I always tell my consumers, like, this is just temporary. Let's do this just so you can get ahead, just so you can be able to grow from it. Let's not get stuck at this place. I just told one of my consumers the other day, I said, I don't want to send you to Virginia Williams, but I'm going to send you because you need somewhere to go. But while you have whatever time that they give you to get your life together, let's put in place a job. Let's get your resume together. Let's do a plan. And that's what I told them. If you don't have a plan, if you can't get what you need to get done in order to succeed, I can't help you. I only can help you if you help yourself. You have to want it because if you don't want it, it's not going to work. Right. Well, so let's not let the system put a cap on our life. Don't let the system be a deterrent. Oh wow, she took it to another level. And you know what? And I'm glad you talked about because I could use some food stamps today. Not tomorrow. Let's not wait until because it's been a minute since I've been down the wharf and bought some of those big glasses. Yes. And I used to really enjoy that. We need, not to. I remember those days with the food stamps. They were fun. And I could use some today, not tomorrow. You want crabs today, Zariah? You eat crabs? You as good as, wait a minute. Butch, I believe, was the fastest crab eater from everybody's testimony. Butch was the fastest crab eater in the family. Uncle Butch. You remember Uncle Butch? They say he could pop the crabs the fastest. I don't know. I think Cheryl. I think Auntie Cheryl eat a lot of crabs, and she goes. Oh yeah. she might got it. She can hear me. Shout out to Auntie on Facebook Live. Oh she hear me. Okay. All right. She definitely that runs in the family with that crab thing. Okay. Now so hold on. So wait a minute. So your auntie is my cousin, right? Okay. Yes. Wait. All right. It's Tony is your uncle. Yes. See, I got it down pat. We got a big family, a lot of kids. We all having kids, children. Yes. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes. We got people coming in and out of the building. They walk dogs. The dog walkers. It's an amazing thing, man. An amazing thing. So, what I'm going to do now, DZ, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back with Mom. Okay. And we're going to talk with her. We're going to see where all of this wonderful kindness, goodness, intelligence comes from. We are going to the source, ladies and gentlemen. You can stop, get yourself some popcorn, then come back and join us. We're going to talk to the mother. This is the woman that instilled all these good things inside these beautiful young ladies right here. Y'all hold fast. We'll be right back. I'm talking. Coming back for me. I know. I'm talking.
my hope. He's alive, he revives, I ride with the ghost. El Shaddai, he can't lie, he provide for the folk. Through the fire, water's hot, won't let you drown on that boat. Put my hope in Hashem, the one that spoke to the wind. Defend me from my enemies. Every day they've in the bin. Snatched me out, I was in the sin. Gave my life so I could live again. All praise I get him. In the end, we finna win. Light a day in my nighttime. Jesus Christ is my lifeline. I don't know who they serve. That's my word, they God ain't like mine. With me in the valley low. Put me on that mountaintop.
I'm talking. Coming back for me. I know. I'm talking. He's the one who's been there for me.
Even if my faith low, gotta stay high in my hope. He's alive, he revives, I ride with the ghost. El Shaddai, he can't lie, he provide for the folk. Through the fire, water's hot, won't let you drown on that boat. Put my hope in Hashem, the one that spoke to the wind. Defend me from my enemies. Every need they've in the bin. Snatched me out, I was in the sin. Gave my life so I could live again. All praise I get him. In the end, we finna win. Light a day in my nighttime. Jesus Christ is my lifeline. I don't know who they serve. That's my word, they God ain't like mine. With me in the valley low. Put me on that mountain.
I'm talking. Coming back for me. I know. I'm talking.
Welcome back. And we now have on the panel Mama Carolyn, right?
Yes,
Hi, how are you this morning?
I'm fine.
Excellent. So we got a chance to cover a few things. We'll cover mostly everything with Shakia last week and now our daughter this week. Tell me or share with us this morning your view on how things have changed community-wise that has brought about this bullying. Because when I don't know what your age is. I'm 52. So in my time, that wasn't allowed.
No, it wasn't.
And I want to talk about some of the significant things that you have seen that have changed and some of the things and get your input on some of the things that you think community-wise we can do ourselves without a magistrate, without a mayor or any of the people that govern us. We could govern ourselves in these particular ways. And I just want your input on that. Would you share with us?
Well, one thing that I can say, when they took prayer out of school, that was a big change, taking
Yes.
prayer out of school. I'm from South Carolina,
Okay.
and our neighbor was able to chastise us.
Right.
My mom and dad could go to the store, and my neighbor across the street, she didn't have to leave her house. But we had to stay out front so she could see us, to watch. She watched us for our mom, and if you do something wrong, guess what? The neighbors could get you.
Right.
Mom and dad gonna come home and get you. A lot of that changed when you have neighbors looking out for each other.
Right.
If you bring that back in, where you look out for your children, I'm looking out for my children and the children next door, the children down the street. Have that love for each other. The love is God.
Right.
Now people don't have love for each other no more.
Right.
Bring that back in.
They used to be happy when they saw
Yes.
you get a good
It
job
was-
or
yes.
you were going to
Yes.
college or everybody was celebrating.
When I grew up, I was like, I want to say I was about 6 years old. My aunt, she had, they call the Girl Scout now, but we had a little brownie. Well, we was taught
Right.
after school, we come home, do our homework, we go to her house. They taught us how to sew. She taught us how to sew. She taught us how to cook.
Right.
And if we get the young ladies
What we
together
now
and
presently
teach
call
them-
life skills.
Yes, and teach them. Taught us how to do hair.
Right.
Taught us how to be young ladies and whatnot. And nowadays that we don't have enough mothers to do that, but we have a lot of young mothers that have been taught themselves having babies young, and they don't know
The
themselves.
uneducated
But you
teaching.
know, I'm one that I love kids. I always did before I started having. I used to keep three little girls, and I did their hair. And my daughter, I'm so proud of my granddaughter and my grandsons because they love math. A lot of them love math, and that was my favorite subject too.
Excellent.
I tutored, I did hair, I crocheted, I did things and brought out to the community and sewing. My daughter got sewing from me, doing hair. My mom did hair. My mom didn't know how to braid like cornrow, but she braids your hair, she pressed your hair.
Right.
So that just generate down from the family.
Right.
That's something that I love doing, sewing. And now my granddaughter, she also tried to sew too. And I'm just so appreciative to God. I give God all the glory and honor because being a young mom myself, He brought me out the world that I could bring my children up. And I thank God. I have to put God in it because I can't do nothing without Him. We can't do nothing without Him. And that just done left. That we don't teach the young children the fear of God, number one, so you can have that love. See, we have to teach them. God said, train up a child in the way that you will have them to go. And they may go away, but they're going to come back because that teaching is there.
Right.
That teaching is there. And
Absolutely.
me with the young ladies, young mothers, I love to talk to them. I get calls. They call me, Miss Curlin, could you pray for me? Miss Curlin, this and that. And I'm there. If that's what you want, I'm there. If we want to talk. I was also bullied.
And that is what we need. We need that. We need, people. Not just money from the government. We need people who are willing to engage with these young people. And I know there's a lot of organizations, and I know, a lot of people don't necessarily want to do stuff without praise behind it. But we need people who are willing to engage these troubled youth and without praise, without any reward necessarily. We just need to naturally care for each other again. And a lot of that has gone out of the homes because of the detachment. The family structure has been broken up. But that's no excuse anymore. We need to put it back together because we know we need that. We function better. We function best under that system.
Yes.
And all of the communities that I see coming up, from the Latin to, Asian communities, all of them have their units intact. If you're rising, it's because you have your units intact. And we have to, we just have to get back to that.
Yes.
And some of the laws that were in place during a time when we needed them should probably be removed. We have to go back and review. We have to make the energy and the time to go back and say, hey, parenting needs to be restored. A parent can chastise a child. And I'm sure you can, and I've talked to, people who said you can, it's just that children are so very aware of what they can do to you also with the law. And I think that's a miseducation, right? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times we need to explain to them what those tools are and what they really do when you start talking about your parent, or you using it to back your parent up off of guiding you.
Yes.
And I don't think I'm not saying kids are bad. I'm not saying that they're inherently evil or any of that craziness. I'm saying that a child knows what the parameters are, and they will test them.
Yes.
And they will use different tools and different things to to test them. So that's what we Tony, when you come back, we got like 3 more minutes. We want to.
I'll wait.
You wait. Yeah. All right. Well, no, I go ahead and take cousin down. Or was she going to? Is anybody down there, DZ?
I got you.
Okay, thank you, cousin. All right. So, my cousin's here with T-shirts also. Christ One Battle gear. And he's going, give us some. I'm anxious to put my T-shirt on and flash real quick. You know what I mean? We have to restore the family unit, and we have to come together and love each other. Love is essential. That was Jesus' message, and it was love.
Yes.
And
Love
you have to
conquers
love.
all.
Love conquers all. God knows sometimes I used to wonder, Mom, why you teach me to love everybody, and at the end of the day, it's because she knows that will be my greatest weapon.
Yeah.
Because in all things, it's all powerful. You know, it's just one of those life saving things.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You know, my mom she just loves everybody. You know.
And you can.
And they can.
You say
you
it's
can.
hard to love your enemy. You can. You don't have to be there in their space, but you can pray for them.
Yeah.
Praying for them, that's loving them. You praying that God change them.
Right.
You see, because somebody prayed for me. You
Yes.
see? Somebody had me on their mind and took the time out to pray for me. So that's what we do for
Preach
each
it,
other.
girl.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Preach it.
And when you do that, I'm telling you, the world will be a better place when we
Yeah.
just start loving each other. And some people say the older people's nosy, but guess what? Sometimes you wish you had the older people to look out for you. That's what we
Yes.
did in South Carolina. We had them looking out, taking
Right.
care of the children.
Right.
When parents out working. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
you need to bring that back in.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like we don't know what we gotta do. We just have to do the work, and there's nothing wrong with
Work
that. It's just
together.
that so many of us right now are just in a mode of instantaneous gratification, and you got to come out of that. We need to do some hard work. We need to roll up our sleeves and get this community together, get our family
Yes,
lives together,
yes.
get our whole. It's just life is a balancing act. You have to, you know, all the different parts of life. You have to. There has to be balance. You have to master them. Now, before we go, we got 2 minutes, 1 minute left. Easy. I'm gonna bring up my cousin Tony. Come on behind us with the Christ One battle gear. The gear for the all around the year, the whole year.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Not only do you pray in the morning time, you suggested the other. Sometimes it could be on a shirt, a
All
T-shirt.
right, this is your man D Fresh, Christ One Battle Gear. I just wanted
All right.
Andree to know that
Andre.
I did come through with
Yes.
what I said I was gonna come through with.
Okay,
And
it's
happy
Andre was
birthday,
on you.
Shakira. This is for you. The Kiss Keep It Saved, the sanctified joint to your mommy. That's for your mommy. Hold that for her.
Yes.
And
That's nice. I love that.
thank you everybody for your support of Christ One Battle Gear and the Mike and Andree show.
Yes, indeed.
Deuces.
Yes, indeed. Also, Tony, tell
Yes,
them
sir.
talk about your give them your how they can contact
Christ
you.
One
Go ahead.
Battle Gear, positive images and inspiration on Facebook and Instagram at Christ ONE Battle Gear. I'm sorry I'm in a hurry, but my wife is in the car. She had surgery. She just wanted to be out for a ride, so we swung through here.
The good husband.
Gotta go, gotta go.
Gotta
All
go.
right?
Gotta go.
Christ
Cousin,
One Battle Gear.
thank you very much.
All
We
right,
have the T-shirts. And the
That's for Andree.
for Andre. Okay, just set it.
That's for Andree.
Okay, excellent. I'm his cousin. I don't get a T-shirt. I want money. I got to pay my debts. I can,
No, you don't owe me no money, cuz. Come on now.
hey, it's all good. You know, hey, I'd rather owe you than anybody else. Believe that. They come take a finger.
These are the We Shall Live and Not Be Bullied t-shirts.
Okay.
Andree wanted.
Yes.
This is for her personally.
All right. All right. All right, Tony. Thank you for dropping in. Christ One back. Yes, sir. I love that. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Cousin got a lot of energy, man. He putting in a lot of work. You know, I don't give him as much exposure as I always should, you know. But a lot of times I think that, you know, pushing it too hard will, you know, just bring a negative aspect to it. I want to push him gradually, but he's hooking up with people. He's servicing them. His business is growing. I think it's amazing, you know, how energy can be transferred.
Yes.
Yes. And how we can help each other. All right, so we're wrapping up. This was the first episode of the Mike and Andree show when, you know, I did it by myself. So you all helped me make it through. You know that? You all helped me make it through. You just don't know. I mean, because you all are just such interesting people, and your energy is so amazing. And I hope that everything is better, cousin, and that, you know, you don't let this hinder you in any way, and that you continue to grow and be bright, and you stay up under your mom and family, and check those friends out, and we're going to keep it moving. All right, ladies and gentlemen, keep smiling, keep loving, and well, keep laughing, and most of all, keep loving. I appreciate you all for tuning in. This is Michael Nathan Armstead, Michael Nathan comedian, to most of you, from the Mike and Andree show. Peace out. See you next week at 11 o'clock.
You know you're curious.